The mission of Hospice Women of Giving is to enhance understanding of the hospice services in our community and to support Good Shepherd's unfunded programs through the power of combined philanthropy. Coming up, we will get to know their program on Polk Place. Make sure you stick around. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Lauren Lingill. Joining us in studio, we have Cindy Sternlicht, Hospice Women of Giving Chair, Michelle Gomez, Market Fundraising Support Associate, Chapters Health Foundation in support of Good Shepherd Hospice, and Paula Creamer, Director of Philanthropy, Chapters Health Foundation in support of Good Shepherd Hospice. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As I said before, I feel like we should have this whole The View situation going on.
Yes.
Table in front of us.
Table in front of us, share some opinions, but I guess we'll have to save the opinions and stick to the facts. So great to have you all here. And so to get us started, Paula, could you share a little bit about Good Shepherd Hospice for our viewers who may not be familiar?
Absolutely. Good Shepherd Hospice was licensed back in 1984, became a part of the Chapters Health System, which we have a couple of other affiliates in the Tampa area, but we serve the majority of Central Florida. Good Shepherd supports Polk, Highlands, and Hardy County. And as the part of the foundation and the philanthropy team, our job is to help find funding sources for our unfunded programs, which could be our veterans programs, our children's bereavement camp, and our bereavement services as a whole. So we work very hard with the community leaders to try and establish a basis and foundation for those individuals that have needs in our community.
And for the record, everyone that I've ever spoken to about Good Shepherd Hospice who had a direct connection said nothing but fantastic things about your services.
We're really glad to hear that. We strive very hard. As a matter of fact, I found out just last week we are working at a 98% customer satisfaction rate. So that is something really that we're very proud of. 80% of our patients are at home, 85%. So we provide a very much needed service in our community.
Absolutely, and these are some kind of difficult times in people's lives. So yeah, I'd say so.
Absolutely. It's not just about the patient, it's also about the family.
Mm-hmm. So before we dive into everything, the organization is big. Obviously, you have a philanthropy team, and then you have other programs within that. And the Women of Giving, Hospice Women of Giving, is kind of where you come in.
Right.
So tell me about that.
Well, Hospice Women of Giving started in late 2012 when members of the philanthropy team at that time approached me and a couple of other women who'd had really positive hospice experiences within our own families and had been donors. And they asked us if we would be willing to help launch a group of for women philanthropy to compile the gifts of the group to sponsor and donate some of the needs of Good Shepherd Hospice that couldn't be covered otherwise.
Well, I mean, that's sort of what you have to do. You got to get a little creative. Like you said, you look for other funding sources, and you can't be knocking on the door of the same folks over and over again. So. Right,
and what we did what women always do. We called our friends and invited them to a little reception and talked to them about what hospice was, what it meant to us, told a little about our stories. And then those who had an interest in it or shared our passion, it was amazing how many hospice stories we heard. They have joined the group. We have roughly 40 members now, and the donations that we pay for membership really are used to create that fund from which we donate to various services, and whether it's patients in home care. We've done community linen kits, which are hospital-sized sheets, bed sheets, for people who have a family member who comes home suddenly. And we've done blanket warmers for the hospice houses, because we all know how nice a warm blanket is, whether you're the patient or the family member sitting there. And then, of course, we're very passionate about the children's grief services and grief camp, because that's such a huge need in our community.
And correct me if I'm wrong, the name of that camp is Camp Braveheart.
Correct.
Okay. So, Michelle, why don't you tell me about Camp Braveheart?
Camp Braveheart is our annual children's bereavement camp. So it is open to children who are between the ages of 6 to 16 who have experienced a loss. It could range from a parent, a sibling, a grandparent, someone they were really close to. And that is for children in Polk, Highlands, and Hardy County. Okay. It is open to the community, so the loss doesn't have to necessarily have been one of our patients. It is open to all children, and it's we recruit through schools and try and let all guidance counselors and everybody know about our services. We only charge $10 for an application fee, but that can be waived if the family can't afford it.
So not that it's like a prerequisite that you are a mom to be in this hospice women and giving thing, but you're kind of like the moms of the organization, you know, kind of taking care of folks and making sure they get where they need to go and have some of those services available to them.
There are a lot of moms in our group, and I do think that drives a lot of the passion for the children's services, but also many of us have been caregivers, caretakers of spouses, parents, and so we see the needs throughout the community, but the children, this gives us an opportunity to not only help the children as they say goodbye for the weekend, but also to help the parents and the grandparents who are standing there, maybe sending their child to camp for the first time.
Oh yeah, and I would imagine it would provide some respite, also knowing that they're in an environment where they're going to get all of their needs met with what they've just experienced, so they have some time to take care of themselves also.
Absolutely.
So
I have to tell you, it's pretty amazing attending the send-off, and you know, you see some of that anxiety and, you know, a little bit of uncertainty about the unknown, and just providing that comfort, and then showing up at camp the next day and just watching their transformation. They are horseback riding and conquering the Alpine Tower, or, you know, canoeing. It's pretty amazing. And then they have a special bonfire that evening, which the Hospice Women of Giving also partake in, but there's kind of like a quiet time before the bonfire where the children write their letters to their loved one that they lost. And then they each take turns by cabins, and they go ahead and put their letters in the fire, and it's very therapeutic for them.
very beautiful. I mean, it's what it's kind of all about, just the healing process, and just, making, life, the part of life that's not so much fun sometimes, bearable and productive as you move forward. Would any of you, or would one of you be comfortable sharing maybe a story that deeply moved you? I mean, I don't want to be intrusive if it's not allowed, obviously, but if there's an example of hospice really kind of working that you have in mind.
Well, I will tell you that just a couple of weeks ago, one of the things that we do at the hospice houses, we do veteran pinnings for those that are individuals, and we do them at home as well, but we participate in the ones that are at the hospice houses when we can. And we had a World War II veteran that he was the last man standing for his ship, last guy alive, and so he had served in 3 major wars, major events during that time period, and it's just pretty amazing to be there with the family and be able to experience that. And that's one of our unfunded programs, and many of those programs that are unfunded is what the Project Review Committee, the Hospice Women of Giving, they pull their membership monies together, and that's how the programs that need support get funded. Without them, we would have many other needs that just wouldn't happen.
Absolutely. So Cindy, tell me, how does one get involved with this Hospice Women of Giving?
Can contact Good Shepherd Hospice, get in touch with the philanthropy team, and they can provide an application and things that they would need just to sign up. And we would love to have more members, because the other part of our mission, in addition to the funding, is just to create more awareness of all of the services hospice provides. And we do a membership program in the fall called Seasons of Service, which is a big luncheon. We have speakers, and we invite anyone to come and hear more hospice stories, hear how hospice affects lives, so that people can access those services at an earlier point.
Absolutely, and a lot of people have the idea that hospice is kind of like the last stop. Right. And I mean, we've discussed here today, it's not that. It's big arms wrapping around your family and trying to figure out, how they can help you get through whatever it is you're dealing with. Yes. So I think it's important that our community knows that, and that we're very lucky to have, good people working on this type of mission. Because you got to be special to do what your people do. I mean,
we would agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Our palliative care portion of what hospice is an extremely important piece, and many people don't even know what that is, because they're in a terrifying situation. They're panicked, they have a lot of questions, but palliative care is about the comfort care. Many people hear the word hospice and they just kind of freeze and they say, no, that's saying I'm giving up on myself or my loved one or my child or my mother. And it's so not about that. It's about bringing in a team, not just one person, not two people, a team of people to support you, your family member, your entire family on the journey, through the palliative care and the hospice experience. And that's what makes Good Shepherd different.
Well, I already have warm fuzzies. And I have to say that you taking on the responsibility as chair of the Hospice Women in Giving is pretty special. And
thank you.
It's pretty great that you're involved in getting so many other people involved.
It's a very rewarding thing to do.
We're pretty lucky to have her.
And she's really awesome, because I know her in real life.
Yeah.
And so you should really just hang out
And you're
with
going
her.
to join now, right?
Probably now. Well, ladies, thank you so much for being here. And hopefully we'll get some people to reach out and get involved in one way or another. And maybe there's some men out there who'd like to contribute in other ways.
Absolutely.
Since 1983, Chapter's health system has been a progressive leader in hospice, palliative care, and home health. The Hospice Women of Giving is first and foremost a giving group created to harness the strength of women's philanthropy. By combining their annual contributions, the group fulfills needs for Good Shepherd Hospice patients and families that might otherwise go unmet. Each year, the group is presented with a wish list from which members review and vote. Annual memberships run $500. For more information, you can give them a call at 863-583-3129, or you can look them up on the web at www.chaptershealth.org.